Okay, we was doing a lot of circling out there in this landing craft, and after we got down, it wasn't no problem going down, getting it in, but we could see about 2 or 3 miles in the beach, and right behind us was 3 or 4 big battleships. One of them was the Pennsylvania, and one of them was the USS Texas. And they was firing them big guns, and I can remember you could see part of the shell. It looked like you could almost follow it. And you'd see it hit 2 or 3 miles up on the shore, and you'd see them trees go way up in the air with their roots way up high and come down. They just pounded the hell out of it. Just boom, 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 boom. You could almost see them big shells. Anyhow, every time we got on landed up, you go on around again, they give us that chocolate bar again, they give you strength, but we was taking a lot of water in the front, and a lot of people were seasick, so you're in seasick water about up to here where everybody's puke floating around on it and hanging on the guy's pack in front. So, and you're about sick, and you don't really care if you do get shot, you know, you feel that zip though. But when we ran up on that beach, we didn't meet any resistance. But we were shot, we couldn't do much anyhow. But found out, here comes a bunch of Jap planes. They didn't drop bombs, they dropped all these papers on us. And it showed a picture of an American soldier with a helmet on, had a helmet with a skeleton face. And it said, American soldier, due to the grand strategy of General Yamashita, you have been allowed to land safely on this island. Please take this paper to the nearest Japanese sentry, and you will be afforded all the protection warrants of the rules of war, and blah, 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 blah. And but we'd have met no resistance because they were quite a few miles inland. The grand strategy was, I guess, to let us leave or let us land and then come and do us in. But whatever, like I wrote in my book, we should have kept. We didn't use that paper. You know, you're going to throw paper away. You don't have much paper. You had to keep that for good use. But anyhow, I do remember landing there, and that's how we got ashore in Luzon. And I say Luzon is no small island. It's about the size of the state of Kentucky, about 40,000 square miles. Mountains and jungles, and it ain't no little place like Iwo Jima and some of these smaller islands, 4 miles long and 6 miles wide, and Tarawa and some other small islands. Luzon, I say, 40,000 square miles. They had mountains and jungles, and Bataan Peninsula is just a little finger sticks out from it. And most of all, my World War II hard time was on Luzon and part of Bataan Peninsula. I was in a rifle company, and you don't get no closer than a rifle company. And we used our artillery and heavy weapons companies to, if we knew where the lines were dug in, they'd been there 2.5 years, so they were well fortified. So we had to blast and pound the heck out of them with artillery and mortar and artillery fire, and the idea was to get up on top of them before they shake themselves loose. But the problem was some of them were dug down 2 and 3 levels. So when the rifle companies meet the dug-in soldiers, they're refreshed and they're ready for you. And the one-on-one exchange is a lot of people, I hear them talking about on television now, and some of the fighting in Afghanistan. I never see them. They're always shooting over a wall or shooting some damn place. I don't see them closing seat within and destroying. So when you have to close in and get right on top of them, after you shell them and shell them and shell them, not all of them are affected by that because they've been down too low. So that's where rifle companies suffer the heaviest of casualties. Because 7 out of 10 people killed in any war is your rifle companies. Because they're the ones seek, close with, and destroy. And I don't know how many times I was a platoon sergeant. I got stuck in the rifle company. I was supposed to have been in the heavy weapons company. And I wrote my daughter through a few remarks in the book. And every time you moved in the Pacific War, at night you had to dig in. Well, that one afternoon they told us to expect a big Japanese attack. They sent us down in this overgrown jungle type place, a pretty rough country. And the perimeter line was flat land, but then there was a hill went up 10 or 12 feet and come down. So we put a machine gun right up on the light machine gun right up on the top. And there was 4 of us in this hole. I was a platoon sergeant in a rifle company. We didn't have enough officers, so the platoon sergeants was platoon leaders. And at dark come, it said we was going to have this big attack, but it never came. At about 11 o'clock, 4 of us was in this one hole, and I laid down over one side. And all at once, it was this terrific explosion. It blew the gun in on top of us, and I remember seeing all these different colored lights. There's different colors other than red, blue, and green, but I don't like the vocabulary. I can't describe them, but just a tremendous explosion, and I could never hear. I couldn't speak. Like, it must suck the air out of your lungs or something. I remember my hearing was not much anything. They blew that machine gun on us. But all 4 of us it just hit on the front of it and hit the machine gun instead of coming in our hole, which 4 of us in this big hole we dug up there. Everybody went in the perimeter. Everybody's in the perimeter. So the guy in the front, the guy on this side could see in front of that drop-off. It was 8 feet down. But this guy over here in a hole could see in front of it. So could the guy over there.